Hi friends, welcome to the Rebelo's friends. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I am glad to hear some amazing response from so many people, so many comments, and thank you so much. I think your watching helps me, so don't forget to share with your family, like the videos, subscribe to the videos, and pass it on even to your family and friends further down. So thank you so much for that. Friends, I have an amazing vegetarian recipe for you today. This is a veg curry, but what I've done is I've given a slight twist to it. So I've done it, used the flavors from Goa to make it into a curry. You know what I mean. Let me take you straight to the ingredients. The curry today that I have is of Moong, which is green lentils, green sprouted lentils, which is also called Moong dal. So I've soaked it overnight. That's about 150 grams soaked overnight. Look at the way it is just puffed up. And it has sprouted as well. So I'm going to use that today for the curry. I'm going to use some of the mushrooms as well. I've got about 8 to 10 mushrooms cut into quarters. So you can use any mushrooms, whatever you've got. Chestnut mushrooms, button mushrooms, or if you even fancy some exotic mushrooms, throw them in. And for the curry paste, for the main curry paste, I've got some freshly grated coconut, dried off. I've got some ginger garlic, some garam masala, about a tablespoon of garam masala, 2 chilies, they're not very spicy. I use the fat ones, so they're called bullet chili, half a red onion, some fresh coriander. And over here on the spices, I've got some cumin, some turmeric, some chili powder, some of the cardamom, 4 cardamom, and few mustard seeds. For saute off, I've got half of the red onion finely sliced, finely chopped. I've got some dried curry leaves and half a tomato into wedges. And all we'll require is a little bit of, you can either use olive oil or some sunflower oil. So I'm going to use some olive oil today. So let me tell you the process for this. What I'm going to do is fry off the onions, add the chilies, add the ginger garlic, the coconut, the coriander and the garam masala, and then I'm fry it off and then turn it into a paste. So let me show you what I do next. Okay, I'm going to use the wok and I'm going to put some oil into it. A bit of oil. What I'm going to do is add the onions to it. Chuck the onions in. Okay. Onions in. Slightly saute it off. Remember, frying of onions just kills the bitter rawness that is inside of it. Then I'm gonna add the chili. Okay, add the chili to it. Then what I'm gonna do is add the ginger and then garlic. I'm gonna fry it off for a minute and a half. So usually what they do is they use these ingredients in Goa basically for coconut curries that we do. So that's what I'm going to use today. So I'm going to use the same ingredients for what they use for curry base, for coconut curry base. So I'm going to use that for the veg curry today. So maybe it gives you an option. And remember, you can add any of the veg. I'm just going to use sprouted green moong and mushrooms, but you can use various kind of veg into it. It's basically a veg curry. So after I fry off this, I'm just going to throw in everything into it now. So just push everything into it. So that's how it looks after a minute and a half to 2. So the coconut in, be careful, just make sure you turn the flame onto very low heat, because your pan's really hot and you don't want the coconut to start burning. So you don't want the coconut to burn. So what you do is slightly fry it off on a very low heat for another 2 minutes, and then just let it cool down. So I'll show you what happens next. Okay, now we add that mixture into the jar. What I'm going to do is add some water to it. Don't add too much water, just add what you need to form it into a thick paste. So let me blitz that down and show you how thick we want it. Okay, so what I've done is I've added half a cup of water first, so that, and worked it out like that. So that's how we want our paste to be like. We don't want it too runny, and we don't want it too thick as well. So that's a good consistency. So what we do next is we add some olive oil to the dish. So a little bit of oil. Turn the flame high. That's about a tablespoon of olive oil. Okay. What we do next is we're going to throw in our dry curry leaves. Sorry for that, it took me a while. Dry curry leaves. Turn the heat to really high. Okay. And now I'm gonna throw in the spices all in. Just make it easier, just throw all in. Okay, well that's all gone in. I'm gonna use the onions. So throw in the onions as well. Remember, don't as soon as you put the spices in, make sure you turn the flame really low, because you don't want your spices to burn. And when you see it sizzling, if you come closer, if I show you the sizzling, so that is the stage you want before your onions get in. You don't want to be putting it into a cold pan as well. So that, just throw in the onions and just fry it off. Fry it off for a minute or 2. I'll need another tablespoon of olive oil. So that's 2 tablespoons. Just turn the heat up onto a medium now. And let the onions start. Saute the onions. Well, this curry is usually a very good curry if you add some cauliflower even to it. You can add some carrots to it, and you can enjoy this curry with rice. Forgive me if I'm saying too much rice, because I come from a land where I've had abundance of rice throughout my life, so I feel comfortable to say rice. So if you've got any Indian bread, or if you've got some normal breads, you know, or whatever is at home is easily at your hand, use it. So let me take you over here. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to throw in the mushrooms in at this point, because what happens to mushrooms start sweating. So chuck the mushrooms in, fry them off for about a minute. Just get that nicely fried up for a minute. Okay. Remember, if you think at the end of this dish, once you've done it, if you think it's too spicy, you can always add to it some coconut milk. Coconut milk is a very good substitute to mellow down certain flavors. So even if it is too spicy, just add some coconut milk to it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to try new things. Maybe you can have a new recipe over there. So once you fry off the mushrooms, what I do at this stage is I would add the paste in at this point. So just throw in the paste, be careful of all the splattering. Turn the heat on a really low now. Okay. I'm going to rinse the jar with some water. I'm going to add about a cup of water. Okay. I'm going to rinse the jar and add all that water to it. So water goes straight in and let it simmer. So when it starts simmering, what I'm going to do is add my sprouted moong into it. At this stage, you can start seasoning it. So I'm going to add some salt, pepper, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt to it. Okay, just allow it to simmer. Okay, now you see it's starting to simmer. When you see that it is starting to simmer, I would just throw in the tomato wedges as well that I had. Out of half a tomato. Just throw that wedges in, or we're going to evenly spread that sprouted moong into it. So just spread it all over. Some use it in a pressure cooker, or even after being sprouted, and make sure you cook the moong, the green lentil. Don't overcook it, or don't let the nutrients flow away. But because it is sprouted over 2 days, it's nice, quite tender. So what I'm going to do is I've checked for seasoning, so salt, pepper to it. If you've got any veg bouillon, you can add about a teaspoon of veg bouillon to it. But I'm not going to add anything into it. I'm just going to keep it plain. So what I'm going to do is close it, let it and on a slow heat. So let it cook for about 15 minutes on a really low heat, and after 15 minutes I'll show you our curry, which is ready to eat. 15 minutes, let me show you our wonderful curry, a veg curry. So there you go. I don't like to overcook my curries. That's why, I've rationalized the time, because it's been soaking in the water for a day and a half. The lentils were not very hard before we started cooking them, and now that we cooked them, they're perfectly done. So 25 minutes max. What I'm going to do is transfer it into a pot. Serving dish. Put that into that. So this curry, as I said, you can enjoy it with rice, with bread, or sometimes I just like it on its own. There you go. Put some mushrooms, a little bit of mushrooms on the top, and there you go. Our sprouted moong curry with mushrooms. That's ready to eat. So friends, there you go. That is my curry for you today. So it's an amazing vegetarian option. You can eat it with rice, as I said, with bread, or just take a spoon in. You'll enjoy it, trust me. If you think it's too spicy, add a little bit of coconut, or even if you have got any cream, add some cream to it. I'll tell you, it will go. Do not be afraid to try new things, because you never know, you might have your own recipe. So there you go. Till I see you next time, goodbye from the Rebelos.